Om Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharya-madhyamam Asmadacharya-paryantam Vande Guru-paramparam. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Namo Brahmadibhyo Brahma Vidya Sampradaya Kartribhyo Vamsha Rishibhyo Namo Gurubhyaha. So we were in the Jyotir Brahmanam or Swayam Jyotir Brahmanam also it is called, where Yajnavalkya again goes to see Janaka, and while going, at least according to Bhashyakara, he was thinking Sa mene na vadishya iti. He was going, but with a sankalpa that I will not have any discussion, any debate or whatever with Yajnavalkya, with Janaka or whoever is there in the court. But the Shruti itself recalls a boon which Yajnavalkya had already given to Janaka, that he can ask what is known as Kama Prashnam. So Janaka had asked a boon that whenever he wants, he can ask any question to Yajnavalkya and he is duty bound to answer that. Okay, so that was the boon which Janaka had asked, and also he got it from him. So even though Yajnavalkya did not want to talk, he just wanted to he went there to just get some material assistance, I think, from the king. Bhashyakara calls it as Yogakshemartham. But as soon as Janaka saw Yajnavalkya, he himself asked him a question, because he was so confident, because he already had this boon. Correct? Based on that boon, he asked like this, it is said. The only thing I pointed out was the Vartikakara, Sureshwaracharya, actually takes it differently. He takes this Sa mene na vadishya as Yene na samvadishya. Sam yene na vadishya means he went with an intention of discussing only. Like that, Sureshwara takes the meaning, because Sureshwara says that is a better reading, because Yajnavalkya knows that he has given that boon to Janaka. So he also was going with an intention to talk with him, because this particular Brahmana, if you take, this is the biggest in the Brhadaranyaka Upanishad itself, and there are 38 mantras or vakyas here. So he went there, and now we will continue. What is the question which Janaka asks Yajnavalkya? Hey Yajnavalkya, kim jyotihi ayam purushaha iti. So Janaka is asking Yajnavalkya, he first calls him, hey Yajnavalkya, gets his attention, and then he asks, kim jyotihi ayam purushaha iti. So this Purusha, the one who identifies with a particular body, mind, sense complex, what is the light for him? Okay, in which whatever that person does, all the vyavahara, all the transactional activities, correct? All the activities in the transactional world, how does one do? And what is the light for that? Means Yajnavalkya says, Aditya Jyotihi Samraditi. So Aditya is the Jyoti normally. Hey Samrat, king, Hovacha. And then why Aditya is the Jyoti? Aditya Naiva Ayam Jyotisha Aste Palyayate Karma Kurute Vipalyeti iti Evam Eva Etad Yajnavalkya. So, hey king, Aditya, sun, is the Jyoti. And why it is said like that? Because with this Aditya only, correct, or the light of the sun only, Ayam Purushaha, this Purusha, Jyotisha, okay, Adityena Jyotisha, Aste means sits, Upavishati, Bhashyakara says. Asanam and all comes from that only, correct? Aste, sits. Palyayate means moves around. Okay. Karma kurute, does activities. Vipalyeti means he comes back. Like this, all these activities in this manner, it is done only with the light of the sun. And then Janaka also agrees. He says, Evam eva etad yajnavalkya. So it is indeed in this way only. I agree. Okay, this is quite simple, but the Bhashya is interesting here. We'll see the Bhashya. He Yajnavalkya iti evam sambodhya abhimukhi karanaya. Okay, so He Yajnavalkya, in this manner, he called, he addressed Yajnavalkya. Why? To get his attention, abhimukhi karanaya. To get the attention of Yajnavalkya, Janaka says, He Yajnavalkya. Then what did he ask? Kim Jyotihi ayam purushaha iti. Now, Kim Jyotihi, this is a Bahuvrihi. Okay, if you take the grammatical samasa, correct? It's a samasa. Kim Jyotihi is a samasa. So, Kim asya purushasya Jyotihi, yena Jyotisha vyavaharati. So, Kim Jyotihi ayam purushaha. So, Kim Jyotihi is an adjective to purushaha. So, this person is the one for whom what is the light? Like that in English, it is a little awkward to translate it. So, what is the light for this particular Purusha? Like that he asks. Okay. Kim Jyotihi, Kim Asya Purushasya Jyotihi, Yena Jyotisha Vyavaharati Bhashyakara. So, with light, one does all the Vyavahara, all the activities in the transactional world. So, Saha Ayam Kim Jyotihi. So, who is this person for whom the light is to be known now, correct? Now here, Bhashyakara wants to give the meaning of Purusha properly. Purusha in different contexts can mean different things. Understand that. It can mean Pratyagatma also. But here, Purusha is not Pratyagatma. So Bhashyakara makes it clear here. I am Prakritaha. Okay. Karya Karana Sanghata Rupaha. So Bhashyakara asks, who is this Purusha, correct? Or I am Kim Jyotihi. Purushaha is there. There, this Purusha's meaning only is giving after asking this question. Saha I am Kim Jyotihi, then I am Prakritaha Karyakarana Sanghata Rupaha Shiraf Panyadiman Purushaha Prichyate. Okay, so he is asking about the one who identifies with the body, mind, sense complex. One who has head, correct? And hands, etc. Shiraf Panyadiman Karyakarana Sanghata Rupaha, one who is the aggregate of the physical body, all the sense organs, mind, etc. Correct? Prakritaha means by nature, Prakriti, from there we get the word Prakritaha. Okay. So, Prakritaha means a regular person here. Okay. Ordinary man, you can say, general man. Common man, in fact, that's the word I was looking for. So, Prakritaha here is not nobody special, common man. One who identifies with the body, mind, sense complex, one who has hands, head, etc. That person is known as Purushaha here. Purushaha Prichyate. He asks about that person for whom what is this light. So, Kim I am. Okay, why is he even asking this question? That's why Bhashyakara explains here. Okay, he says, Kim I am Swavayava Sanghata Bhahyena Jyotihi Antarena Vyavahariti. Ahosvit Swavayava Sanghata Madhyapatina Jyotisha Jyotishkaryam Ayam Purushaha Nirvartayati Ityetat Abhiprayaha Prichyati. So what is actually being asked by Janaka that Bhashyakara is explaining here? So whether this person, the Purusha, who identifies with the body, mind, sense complex, correct? For that person, the Jyoti or the light, is it something other than external to the body, mind, sense complex itself? Okay. Or what? It is something which is part of the body, mind, sense complex itself. Swavayava Sanghata Madhyapatina means which is within the within the aggregate or the compound itself, okay, or the complex. So is it one in your own body, some part is giving up this light, or is it something other than the body mind sense complex? This Jyoti, using which whatever the Vyavahara is being done, correct? Through which the Vyavahara is done, Vyavaharati. This is the question. Okay, and using that light only, Jyotish Karyam Ayam Purushaha Nirvartayati means he accomplishes any work. Okay, using that light, whatever is to be done, he does that. So this is the Ityetat Abhipraya means what? This is the idea behind asking this question, correct? Abhipretya Prichati. So with this idea, he is asking the question. Further what? Kinchata. So what? Why do we even have to know whether it is external or part of the body mind sense complex itself? That also no Bhashyakara explains. He says Kinchataha yadi vyatiriktena yadiva avyatiriktena jyotisha jyotish karyam nirvartayati. So okay, so whether you are, what is the idea again? Why do you even want to know whether something separate or something which is non-separate light is used for doing whatever activities under the light? Okay. So now Bhashyakara explains that Shrinu Tatra Karanam. So may you listen to the reason for that. What? Yadi Vyatiriktena Jyotisha Jyotish Karya Nirvartakatvam Asya Swabhavaha Nirdharitaha Bhavati Tataha Adrishta Jyotish Karya Vishaye Api Anumasyamahe Vyatirikta Jyotihi Nimittam Eva Idam Karyamiti. Okay, so Bhashyakara says why this is important is that if it is decided that the light which is used for doing all this Vyavahara, whatever activities are happening, correct, in the world, the light which is useful for that is external to the body mind sense complex. If it is determined in that manner, then we will again extend it to do Anumana, correct, infer. So inference we will do even for that which is not visible, he says. Adrishta Jyotihi. See, normally the light about which we are all talking about, that light is all visible light, correct, at least. So the sunlight, moonlight, like this, the question will keep on going. So based on that, if all the lights normally which are useful for doing activities are external to the body mind sense complex, then we will extend that, extrapolate that inference and even say for the light which is not visible, which is not perceptible also, that light also is external to the body mind sense complex. Like that we will do Anumana. Or otherwise what? Okay. So, Atha Avyatiriktena Swatmana Jyotisha Vyavahariti Tataha Pratyakshepi Jyotishi Jyotish Karya Darshane Avyatiriktame Jyotihi. So, if it is non-separate, if the light which is useful for doing all the Vyavahara, all the activities is not separate from one's own body mind sense complex, then even with reference to the light which is not visible, which is not objectifiable, we have to say, correct? So even with reference to that light, we will do the inference that it is also part of the body mind sense complex. Only it is non-separate from the body mind sense complex. So Anumeyam. Or the third option also is Bhashyakara is giving. Atha Aniyamaha eva. Aniyame eva. Vitiriktam Avyatiriktam va Jyotihi Purushasya Vyavahara Hetuhu Tata Anedhyavasaya eva Jyotir Vishaye. Or the other option is what? There is no niyama. It can be external, it can be internal, etc. Correct? If there is no niyama, then we cannot do any anumana based on that. Correct? In fact, to do anumana, the invariable concomitance has to be there always. Even if the invariable concomitance does not work in one scenario, then you cannot be any more sure about making that inference. Correct? So for example, we say yatra yatra dhumaha tatra tatra vanhihi. Like this. This is a very common anuman. Wherever there is smoke, there is fire. And what is the example for that? Mahanase, like in the kitchen. So like even in the kitchen, in fact, in those days they were using, or even now in big cooking and all, we use all this firewood, etc. Correct? So obviously there will be a lot of smoke. And so the idea is that wherever there is smoke, the fire is definitely there. And wherever there is no fire, there should not be any smoke also. Both ways you have to, the Anvaya Vyatireka it is called, correct? When smoke is there, fire has to be there. That is called Anvaya. Then Vyatireka is what? When fire is not there, smoke should not be there. That also is, because if without fire also if smoke is there, means it can have some other reason, means then you cannot have invariable concomitance, correct? So Anvaya Vyatireka is very important to arrive at the invariable concomitance. So both ways you have to be sure. Wherever there is smoke, fire has to be there. And whenever there is no fire, there should not be any smoke. In this manner, once you know that, then wherever you see the smoke, you can say there is fire. Okay. That is the general anumana. But if aniyamaha means what? Aniyama means what? There is no rule. It can be separate, it can be non-separate, etc. Then you don't have any invariable concomitance, or you don't have any basis to do any inference. Okay, so it can be either vyatirikta, avyatirikta means. Then here also anadhyavasaya eva means what? Without determining, it becomes indeterminate. So with reference to the jyoti, the subject matter of this light, you cannot come to any determination whether it is external or internal or part of the body mind sense complex itself. So thinking in this manner, all three options are there. Ityevam manvanaha prichati janakaha yajnavalkyam. So thinking in this manner, janaka asks yajnavalkya, kim jyotihi ayam purushaha iti. Okay, now the Purva Bakshi asks a very interesting question, very valid. In fact, Bhashyakara agrees with him. So what does the Purva Bakshi say now? Nanu एवं अनुमान कौशले जनकस्य किं प्रश्नेन स्वयमेव कस्मान् न प्रतिपद्यते इति सत्यमेतत् भाष्यकारः says. See, he says, hey, Janaka is a great king, very well read, correct? And he has kushalata. He has the ability to do anumana himself. Anumana kaushale janakasya kim prashnena. So Janaka having this Anumana Kushala, the ability to do Anumana himself, why is he even asking any question? What is it? What is he accomplishing by asking any question? He could have done the Anumana himself. Swayameva kasman na pratipadyate iti. Why doesn't it occur to him only, the Anumana? Why is he even asking any question like this? The Purva Pakshi is raising a doubt. Bhashyakara agrees, Satyametat. I agree that Janaka is capable of doing this, but still, what? Tathapi. So I do not doubt the capability of Janaka, but the subject matter is very subtle. Therefore, even Janaka has to ask this. That is the point Bhashyakara is trying to make. So he says, Tatapi linga lingi sambandha visheshanam atyanta saukshmya duravabhodatam manyate bahunam api panditanam. Okay, kimuta ekasya. So the subject matter under discussion, for that the linga is the hetu, correct? In any anumana, like we talked about the smoke and fire, smoke is the linga normally, or the hetu, correct? It is the indication. So based on the indication only we infer something, correct? Lingi is the whatever is inferred. And their sambandha, okay, their connection, okay, and whatever is their visheshas, etc., qualities, In all these things, what? Atyanta saukshmya. It is highly subtle, Bhashyakara says, in this case. And therefore, it is not easy to know. Durava bodhatam manyate bahunam api panditanam. Even many panditas consider that it is not easy to know about this Atma, because the question here is about Atma only. Okay. Therefore, what about just one person, he says? Kimuta ekasya. So by himself, he cannot do that because it is very subtle. It is always better to discuss and take everyone's opinion and then arrive at a conclusion. Something like that Bhashyakara is hinting. In fact, he even refers to again Manu. Okay. So Manusmriti Bhashyakara refers now. So he says, Atayeva Dharma Sukshma Nirnaye Parishad Vyaparaha Ishyate. So he says Dharma Sukshma, when you are discussing something very subtle, not only here it is about moksha, but even with reference to dharma also, because many things about dharma also, they are all not visible to the eye. Papa Punya itself is not visible to the eye, correct? So we have to go by so many things. What the Shastra says, what is the Vriddha Vyavahara, Shishtachara and all that we say, correct? What are the, how did the elders do things? All the established people, how did they do? What is the Shastra saying in that manner, etc. And what are the options? There can be many different interpretations and options, etc. also, because in karma there is always option. So even with reference to dharma sukshma nirnaye, parishad vyaparaha ishyate, it is desired to have a dharma parishad, okay, a council, okay, or a committee. Committee is a very bad name, I think, nowadays. For everything, if you put a committee, you don't want any work to be done. Then you put a committee, but it's not like that here. So the parishad is desired. And in fact, what kind of a parishad it should be also, Manu says that, but Bhashyakara simply refers to it. So Purusha Visheshaha cha apekshyate. So in that, the people are also required for that. And how many people? Dashavara Parishat Trayo va Ekaha va iti. So the Parishad can have 10 people or 3 or even 1. Okay. So the Purusha, the people are all required for this. Okay. And again, how many people? It can be 10 people. And again, Purusha Visheshaha means people with qualification, not by anybody. Okay, you just gather some 10 people from the road and make a parishad. It cannot be like that, correct? In fact, Manu is very particular who all should be there. And in fact, that is quoted by Anandagiri. We can even see. Generally, I always don't go to Anandagiri, but here you can see it's very interesting. See, Anandagiri says, Uttam hi dharmena avigataha yaistu vedaha samparibrimhanaha te shishtaha brahmanaha nyeyaha shruti pratyaksha hetavaha. So the kinds of the brahmanas themselves, what they know, the shruti, pratyaksha, anumana, everything, they have to be also shishtas, means what? They have to be already leaders or eminent people. Brahmanas, they have knowledge about the shruti, etc. And how many people? Dashavara eva parishad yam dharma parichakshate. So to examine the matters of dharma, 10 a parishad made up of 10 people is required, or Trevara Vapi, or it can be, if you don't have 10, you can have 3 also, he says, Manu, Vritasthaha tam dharmam na vicharaye. So Vritasthaha means again those who are very well established, eminent people, knowledgeable, all that. Okay, so it can be 3 or it can be 10. If it is 10, who all should be there? Manu gives Traividyaha. Haitukaha, Tarki, Nairuktaha, Dharma Patakaha. So Traividya means those again people who are of the three Vedas. Rig, Yajur, Sama, all three Veda people should be there. Haitukaha means one who has studied the Mimamsa Shastra, one who knows how to interpret the sentences, or even you can take Vyakarana also. Vyakarana, Mimamsaka Shastra and all those who have studied, they are called Haitukaha because they look for the causes or the whatever for a particular interpretation, etc. Correct? Based on some reasoning, they interpret the Shastra properly. So Haitukaha, Tarki, again Tarki means one who is a logician, you can say, Tarkika. Nairuktaha means one who knows the meaning of all the words. Okay, Nirukta. Yaska's Nirukta and all we say, correct? Nirukta is the oldest thesaurus in the world, you can say, or some kind of a dictionary. So those who know that, and Dharma Patakaha, and one who teaches the Dharma also. Means not only teaches, means one who follows, we have to take here. Dharma Pataka means he is a Adhyapakaha, but he can be an Adhyapaka only when he follows himself. Okay. So in this manner, what? You have three Vedas, a Mimamsaka, a Tarki. 7 people have come already. The Dharma Pataka, of course, if he is following Dharma, means he has to be a Grihastha Ashrami. Okay, the Dharma Pataka is a Grihastha. Then Trayascha Ashraminaha. The other 3 Ashramis also they are talking about here. The Brahmachari and then the Vanaprasthi. Of course, Sannyasi may not be there in the Dharma Parishad. Then I think we have to take as the one Snataka. One who has gone to the Veda Patashala, but one who has graduated but is not yet a Grihastha. Okay. So Brahmachari is one who is there in the Gurukula still, but one who has graduated from the Gurukula but not yet a Grihastha. Such a person also we have to include, and then a Vanaprasthi. So in this manner, 10 people, 10 different types of people, correct? Age-wise also all old. Vanaprasthi is old. Brahmachari is still in the Gurukulam. Then somebody who has graduated is just older adult. Like that, all types of people you should have in a Parishad, he says, Purve Parishad Esha Dashavara. So in this manner, you can have a Parishad to discuss all these matters. Okay. Or if you do not have these 10 people, what do? At least you should have Rigveda with Yajur with Cha, Samaveda with Evacha, Krevara Parishad Nyeya, Dharma Samshaya Nirnaya. At least you should have people belonging to the 3 Vedas. Okay, one who knows the Rig Veda, Yajur Veda, and Samaveda. These 3 people have to be there to discuss about any Dharma Vishaya. The Parishad has to be made up of these people. Finally, but Bhashyakara says there can be even one person, correct? Okay. So, Eko va iti, that Anandagiri himself gives the meaning. What is that? Ekaha va iti adhyatma viduchyate. Or you can ask even one person, but that person should be a Atmavid, knower of oneself, the one who has self-knowledge. So, Jnani. So, if there is a Jnani, then even one Jnani is good enough because Jnani is supposed to give proper advice, correct? Not worry about oneself, but whatever is the right thing, such proper advice the Jnani is expected to give. So, it can be like this, 10 people, 3 people, or even one person, but you ask somebody else. That is the idea. Wherever, particularly if the matter is subtle, it is not very clear. Even in Dharma also, we have Dharma Sankata and all that, correct? There is no clarity, which is right. Or there are more than one right option, let us say. That is even more problematic. In fact, in reality, for a Dharmika, there is no real option between right and wrong. You have to always choose the right thing only, correct? But sometimes you may not know what is right and what is wrong. That is also one type of Dharma Sankata. But the other kind of Dharma Sankata is you have more than one way of doing things. Everything looks right. Or everything may be right also, but still which one is better for me, etc. So like that, you can have some confusion. Always seek clarity. as a human being, you cannot do the wrong thing. Understand that. That's not an option. And ignorance is not a defense. You cannot say, I did it because I did not know what is right. If you do not know what is right, you are always supposed to seek clarity from others, your family, elders, guru, like that. You should seek clarity from people who will give you proper advice. So you have to seek help. Intelligent living means one has to seek help. Like this Puja Swamiji used to say, my guru, which is very important. You may be a very accomplished person and all that, but still you are not all knowing, correct? And in certain areas, one has to seek help. So seeking help is intelligent living always. You should not shy away from that, either due to whatever. Sometimes it is fear also, correct? Or fear of being judged and all that. You don't have to have that. Or sometimes it is due to pride also, which is quite bad, I think. Pride and ego also may stop you from seeking help or advice, etc. It should not be like that, because understand everything which you have done in your life, you have done with the help of others, correct? Starting from A, B, C, D, A, E, E onwards, somebody has taught you. You are already standing on the shoulders of others only. You may be such a great accomplished person, but none of your accomplishments, in fact, you can claim 100% as yourself. It is yours, etc. So many people have contributed to everything which one does. So with that appreciation, one should always have the humility to seek help whenever required. That is, okay. So anyway, here Tasmad Yadyapi Anumana Kaushalam Rajnyaha. So the king himself had the ability to do Anumana, correct? He is not an ordinary person, accomplished person, Janaka. Still what? Tathapi tu Yuktaha Yajnavalkyaha Prashtum. Still it is proper to ask Yajnavalkya. Yajnavalkya is a great Pandita, is a Jnani. So that is why Bhashyakara Eko Va, he has to add here, correct? You can even ask one person. As a king, he could have convened a Dharma Parishad also very easily, correct? But he didn't do that. He is just asking Yajnavalkya only. So it is proper to ask him. Why? Because Vijnana Kaushala Taratamya Upapattehe Purushanam, because different people have different levels, correct? Taratamya means levels of ability with reference to knowledge, whatever knowledge they have, etc. In subject matter also. Everybody is not an expert in all subject matter. Therefore, it is proper that Janaka asks Yajnavalkya, who is the subject matter expert here? He is the SME. Okay. Then what? Or otherwise, Bhashyakara gives another interpretation here. Athava Shrutihi Swayameva Akhyayika Vyajena Anumana Margam Upanyasya Asman Bodhayati Purushamatim Anusaranti. Or we can take that it's only a story which Shruti is using, and again the Shruti, to show the Anumana, Shruti is making Janaka as a character ask to Yajnavalkya, correct? So we can take it like that, so that it's easy. Purusha Matim Anusaranti means what? It goes along with us. Those who are studying it, it makes it easy for us, correct? It teaches us, keeping in mind that we need to be taught. Therefore, Janaka is asking Yajnavalkya also in the story. You can take like that. It can be taken just as a story through which Shruti is trying to teach us easily. Or we can take it that Janaka himself, even though he is capable, he asks Yajnavalkya because the subject matter is subtle. Okay. Then further what? Yajnavalkya api Janaka abhipraya abhijnataya vyaktihi Vetirikta Atma Jyotir Bodhayishyan Janakam Vetirikta Pratipadakam Eva Lingam Pratipede. So Yajnavalkya also understands that Janaka is asking based on these different possibilities, correct? So Janaka Abhipraya Abhijnataya, knowing what is the Abhipraya of Janaka, with what idea Janaka is asking these questions, knowing that what is he teaching? Vetirikta Atma Jyotihi Bodhayishyan. So teaching that this this light, Jyoti, is Vyatirikta Atma. Here Atma is again not the Pratyeka Atma. Atma word here is the body mind sense complex only, correct? Karyakarana Sanghata only is called Atma here. Vyatirikta Atma Jyoti. He means what? The Jyoti is separate or other than the Atma, the body mind sense complex. Like that only he teaches. And for that again he is giving the linga. Vyatirikta Pratipadakam eva lingam pratipede. So he teaches that he gives all the linga or the hetu for why it is Vyatirikta. And since this Jyotish is Vyatirikta or separate from the body mind sense complex, the Atma Vyatiriktam also we have to show now. See, the whole idea of using Anumana here is that to show that they have Vyatirikta Atma is there. Is that clear? Of course, they have Vyatirikta Atma can only be revealed by the Shruti, like that Bhashyakara himself argued at the beginning. If you go back to the introduction, first couple of classes, 2-3 classes in the beginning, you can see that there Bhashyakara beautifully argues for that, because there is no consensus on whether there is a Atma separate from the body. Okay. Somebody says, in fact, even now, scientists, all these people, their consensus is that self is nothing other than the body, correct? It's only this body, physical body is there. Somehow you put everything together, consciousness manifests. Like this, they think that mind itself is an epiphenomenon of matter. Like that is I think the majority view today. Epiphenomenon means there is nothing really called mind. It is simply that if you put together all this matter in some formula, and then in the brain, the activity of the brain itself is the consciousness. So it becomes aware. There is a self-awareness. There is awareness of external world. All these things just happen. There is nothing separately called awareness. Only matter is there. Like this, people think even today. So even in those days, there were Charvakas like that. Then others had other views. Some people said, no, prana is the Atma, Manas is the Atma, Indriya are the Atma, etc. Then Buddhist also is there. There is no Atma at all. Nairatmyavadi. Shunyam. All this is there. Shanika Vijnanavadin also is there. Atma is only flickering consciousness. So like this, different views are there. Shruti alone has to reveal. Shruti is the only pramana for that. But still, Shruti itself is using Anumana here also to reinforce the idea that this Jyotihi has to be separate from the body mind sense complex. For that, even Yajnavalkya starts answering by giving the external Jyoti only, correct? Which is the Aditya. So that is the Linga is giving. So Yatha Prasiddham Aditya Jyotihi Samrat iti hovacha. So the Jyotis, first Jyotis which Yajnavalkya says is Aditya. Aditya is the Jyoti. Katham, how, why do you say Aditya is the light or Jyoti? Adityenaiva Swavayava Sanghata Vyatiriktena Chakshushaha Anugrahakena Jyotisha Ayam Prakritaha Purushaha Aste Upavishati. So with this Aditya's light only, again which light is separate from the body mind sense complex, and whose Anugraha to the eyes are there, correct? The eyes have to be helped with the light. Even though you have a well functioning eye, if it is pitch dark, you may not see anything, correct? So the Anugrahakena Jyotisha means the light which helps your eyes to see. That light is from the Aditya only, and using that only what? Common man, Prakritaha Purushaha Aste Upavishati, sits. He knows where to sit. Otherwise, you can sit on some thani bush also, correct? If you are not able to see what is there, you sit on something like wire or whatever, electric wire, means you will get shocked. So you should know where to sit. Palyayate Paryeti Kshetram Aranyam Va. So you move around, whether in normal location or in forest. Kshetram Aranyam Va. Tatra Gatva Karma Kurute, having gone to some place, You do whatever you are supposed to do, activities. Vipalyeti, you come back. Viparyeti. That la and ra sometimes abheda is there. Okay, you can see here. Palyayate, vipalyeti and all. Actually, it is paryeti, viparyeti like that. The repha and lakara, they can, the abheda can be there sometimes. So yathagatam. So from wherever he came, he comes back to that place. So like this, all this is done only with the light of sun. So atyanta vyatirikta jyotishtva prasiddhata pradarshanaartham aneka visheshanam. Okay, now one sun is fine, but then he keeps on asking more and more and more, correct? If the sun is not there, what is the light? Then moon, he will say. If moon is not there, what is it? Like that, many things he is asking. And each of those cases, the light which is being referred to is something external. That's what Bhashyakara says. Atyanta vyatirikta jyotishtva prasiddhata pradarshanartham means what? Any light in which we do activity or in whose presence the activities happen, that light is separate from the body mind sense complex only. It is definitely atyanta means what? It is totally separate from the body mind sense complex only. To show that only, aneka visheshanam, he says many times, many different, all these questions are being asked and many different answers are given. In each of those cases, the linga is external only. From this, again, we finally established that the Atma itself is this Deha Vyatirikta. Okay. So, Bhashya Aneka Jyotih Pradarshanam Cha Lingasya Avyabhicharitva Pradarshanartham. So, again, the showing this multiple outside Jyoti is what? It is to show that the Linga in all these cases, Avyabhicharitva means what? It is not changing in the sense that it is all Bhashya only. Okay. None of which is part of the body mind sense complex itself. Therefore, that is the idea here, to show that all the lights are external and therefore the one light finally, when all these lights are not there, also whatever is that light, that Atma Jyotihi also is Bhashya. It's not part of the body mind sense complex. That is the aim. So evam eva etad yajnavalkya. Like now it is like that only, like this. Janaka now accepts the answer. And then further he asks, what did he ask? Astamita aditye yajnavalkya kim jyotihi eva ayam purusha iti chandrama eva asya jyotihi bhavati iti chandramasa eva ayam jyotisha आस्ते पल्ययते कर्म कुरुते विपल्येति इति एवं एव एतद् याज्ञवल्क्य. Okay, so again there is nothing much here. It is very similar to the previous one. Only thing is astamite aditye. If the sun has set, sun is no more available, then what is the jyoti he asks? Then chandrama eva asya jyotihi. Like this Yajnavalkya answers. And again in the light of the chandrama only, same thing. Aste, palyayate, karma kurite, vipalyeti, all these things, sitting, going around, doing activities, coming back, all these things are done only in the light of moon. Okay, and then this also he accepts. So Bhashyakara doesn't have much Bhashya here. Tatha astamite aditye yajnavalkya kim jyotihi eva ayam purushaha iti chandrama eva asya jyotihi. Okay, chandrama alone is the jyoti. Then next what? Astamite aditye yajnavalkya chandramasi astamite kim jyotihi eva ayam purushaha iti agnihi eva asya jyotihi bhavati iti agnina eva ayam jyotisha te jyotisha aste palyayate karma kurite vipalyeti iti evam eva etad yajnavalkya. Okay, now even if Chandra also is not there, let us say it is Amavasya, there is no Chandra and there is no Aditya. Stars also are not too, whatever, not visible, cloudy maybe. Then Agnir Jyotihi, fire alone is the light for you. And then what? Astamite Aditye Yajnavalkya Chandramasi Astamite Shante Agnau Kim Jyotihi eva ayam Purushaha iti Vageva Asya Jyotihi Bhavati iti Vacha eva ayam Jyotisha Aste Palyayate Karma Kurute Vipalyeti iti Tasmad Vai Samrad Api Yatra Swaha Panihi na Vinirjnayate Ata Yatra Vag Ucharati Upaiva Tatra Nyeti iti Evam Eva Etad Yajnavalkya. So, even if fire is not there, correct? Sun has set, moon is not there, and fire also has been put off. Shante Agnau. Then what means what? Then Yajnavalkya says, Vageva asya jyotihi. Vak means words. Here, Vak is not the Vak Indriya, and what are the Vak Indriya produces? The sound, correct? Or words, sound and words also. You can take both here. Sound itself is better. Sound itself is the light. How can sound be light? Means with the help of sound also we can navigate, correct? In a very pitch dark forest or something, sometimes sound helps. The flow of some water or whatever, some animal making some sound or somebody, we also use all this whistle and all that, correct? Particularly when you are going in a trek and all that, sound can help you. Again here, Bhashyakara also says, it's not just sound alone. Sound is only an upalakshana. It can mean other sense objects also can help you, correct? You can touch, you can smell. A smell also can point you to certain things. So based on the smell also we can do some activities, we can go somewhere, we can sit, all that you can do. So here Vag is only an upalakshana, okay? So based on the smell and other sense objects also, you can do whatever you want to do, particularly when it is very, very dark, correct? So that part only we have to see here. So Vageva asya jyotihi bhavati iti Vacha eva jyotisha aste palyayate karma kurute vipalyati. Up to this it is the same, but now something extra also is being said here. Tasmad vai samrad api yatra swaha panihi na vinirjnayate means what? So here he is again asking, therefore what? He is explaining when is the situation when this Vag becomes the Jyotis. Even when one's own hand is not visible, he is saying. Okay, if a sound is uttered, then one can go there. Correct? That's what he says. So, swaha panihi na vinirjnayate atha yatra vag ucharati upaiva tatra nyeti iti. So, you can go there, nyeti, you can reach. If somebody does ucharana, make some sound, based on that sound, you can go there. In fact, this thing we have even experienced in thick fog, correct? Even when we used to study in the college also, sometimes the fog will be so thick. If you put your hand like this, you cannot see the hand. Okay, it can be so thick. So even fog can block your visibility. Of course, in a very, very dark night also it is possible. So where your own feet you are not able to see. Panihina vinirjnayate, but still sound can help you reach a particular place. So here he agrees. Yes. Evam eva etad yajnavalkya. Okay. So now we'll quickly see the Bhashya. Shante agnau vag jyotihi vag iti shabdaha parigrihyate. So Bhashyakara makes it clear. Here vag is not just the vag indriya, but it is the whatever is produced by the vag indriya or vag indriya karya, which is shabdaha parigrihyate. So here we understand it as sound. Shabdena vishayena shrotram indriyam deepyate. So Bhashyakara explains, when you hear a sound, your shrotra indriya, the sense organ of hearing, lights up. Okay, Shrotram Indriyam Deepyate, Shrotra Indriye Sampradipte, Manasi Vivekaha Upajayate, when the ear lights up, through that again mind also, certain discrimination is formed, correct? Based on the sound only, you can know the direction from which the sound is coming, all that you can do some viveka, some discrimination is possible. So tena manasa bhahyam cheshtam pratipadyate. So using such a mind which has a certain viveka, you can do this, whatever the external activity. Okay. This is again, Bhashyakara quotes Shruti itself, 153 again, this Brhadaranyaka itself. Manasa hyeva pashyati, manasa shrinoti, like that it comes about the mind. Hrir, bhir, dhir, like that. What is the mind? That is a very often quoted also Vakya. It is there 153. The first chapter, 5th Brahmana, you can go and refer to that. So with the mind only you see, with the mind only you hear, means mind has to be backing any indriya, correct? Otherwise, even if something is happening in front of your eyes, you will not see it. So mind is important here, Bhashyakara points out. So through a mind which has a certain viveka, it need not be only through the visual stimuli, but other stimuli also can help your mind to arrive at a certain knowledge, and based on that you can do certain activities. Okay, katham punaha vag jyotihi iti vachaha jyotishvam aprasiddham ityataha. Okay, of course. Why did Yajnavalkya say this thing, this extra thing, correct? Tasmad, Vai, Samradapi, and all that. So Bhashyakara says, because Vag is not popularly known as Jyoti, correct? It's not known as a light. So Vachaha, Jyotishtam, Aprasiddham. So it is not Prasiddha, it is not well known. Therefore, what Ityataha, therefore he said what? Tasmad, Vai, Samrat, Yasmat, Vacha, Jyotisha, Anugrihitaha, Ayam Purushaha, Vyavaharati. So the person who is helped by the sound also, anugrihita, correct? Which itself is functioning like light here. The person can do some vyavahara. Tasmat prasiddham etad vachaha jyotishtam. Therefore, now it becomes clear to you that vak itself can be a jyotish or a light. Katham means again api yatra yasmin kale pravrishi prayena meghandhakare sarvajyoti pratyastamaye. So yatra means yasmin kale, at some time, where what in general what megha andhakare he says. Okay. That means it is very, very pitch dark, very highly dark. Okay. Darkness is so much. So, and again in rainy season where there is like, it's very cloudy, and so cloud has covered the entire sky, it has become night also, let us say. That's what he is pointing out here. So pravrishi prayena megandhakare sarva jyoti pratyastamaye means all light also is gone. There is no fire, there is no sun, there is no moon, no stars also. Everything is covered by the thick clouds. And what? Swaha api panihi hastaha na vispashtam nitnyayate. Your own hands and feet only you are not able to see clearly. Atha tasmin kale, at that time, sarva cheshta nirodhe prapte, when you cannot do any activity, correct? There is a stoppage of all your activities. It has come to that. Bhashya jyotishaha abhavat yatra vag ucharati. So even though there is no light for seeing, the external light, the sound itself, when somebody makes a sound, correct? Vag ucharati, shwa va bhashati, gardhabaha va rauti. So what kind of sound? Means shwa means dog, correct? A dog is barking, he says. Shwava bhashati, gardabaha va rauti. Gardabaha means what? A donkey. Donkey is braying. So even based on sounds like this, it need not be even words, correct? So tena shabdena jyotisha shrotra manasoho nairantaryam bhavati. Okay. Tena jyotish karyatvam vak pratipadyate, tena vacha jyotisha upanyeti eva upagachati eva tatra sannihitaha bhavati ityarthaha. So even from sounds like this, okay, that sound itself can act as a light, correct? So that sound connects your ear with the mind, and then that sound itself functions like light for you because it gives your mind a certain clarity with reference to where to go based on the sound. So that's what he says. So, Tena Shabdena Jyotisha, here Shabda itself is Jyotis. Shrotra Manasoho Nairantaryam Bhavati means what? Your mind and ear, they get connected. Tena Jyotish Karyatum Vak Pratipadyate. And there, the Vak sound itself does the work of the light. Correct? So, Tena Vacha Dyoshita. So, using that sound only, Upanyeti. Here, Upa and Nyeti is separate. Correct? Upa, Eva Tatra Nyeti. So, in Veda, the prefix and the verb can be separated. So, Bhashyakara, again, he connects it and puts it as one verb. Upanyeti means Upagachati. One goes to a particular place. Tatra Sannihitaha Bhavati Ityarthaha. So, one returns to the place. Okay, wherever one came from, one can return there. You can do some work even in pitch dark and then return based on the sound. Again, here only Bhashyakara makes this important point. What? Tena vacha jyotisha. Okay. Tatra cha, okay. Tatra cha karma kurute vipalyati. Yeah. So he returns, he can do some activity and again come back from there. So here the main thing is what? Tatra vag jyotishaha grahanam gandhadinam upalakshanartham. So this is what I said. So here the vag, which is referred to as light, we have to also understand smell, touch, etc. also. Okay, here. So gandhadinam also upalakshanartha. It is not just vag alone. Other sense objects also can help you. So gandhadibhi api hi granadishu anugrihiteshu pravritti nivrityadeha bhavanti. So based on the smell also, you can be guided, you can be helped. Smell also can help you to do certain things, even when it is pitch dark, etc. So therefore, what tena taihi api anugraha bhavati karyakarana sangatase. So they also can help you. Smell, etc. also. So in this manner, what this also Janaka accepts. Evam eva etadhyajnavalkya. So after this, what? That we'll see next week. So here now, hereafter it is very interesting. You see a very big Bhashya also. This we'll see next week. Om Purnamadav Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.
Namaskara Mahodaya. Dhanyavadaha. Shubha Ratri.